Welcome back to Talking Live, and I'm just watching the news and looking at all the things that's going on, and I like to say this, that, there's so many out there that's unjust that are trying to overthrow our government. I think that's what it looks like. You two might disagree with me on that, but this is the way it is. What I see is what I believe, not what I hear. And I see a lot of things in this administration that we have. They are ready to judge uh, Putin on what he does by his competition, and they're in the same old boat doing the same old thing. I just read about where they're going to try to override the Supreme Court if Donald Trump gets immunity. Now, to me, that's called dictatorship. Down in Venezuela, anybody runs against that man, he gets killed or he gets in prison. That's the way that our government is going today. Administration we have in Washington, D.C. is out to destroy anyone that comes against them in power. Their desire is to destroy America. They will not have it any other way. And if they have to do anything to destroy their competition, they will. And they sit back with their lying mouth, their hypocrite mouth, and talk about democracy and talk about how that they're all working for our country and for our benefit. To take a country and take away their energy and put us dependent on their ideas of running a country, not letting the people come together and speak out and do what they think is good for their country. Now, I know we're having these protesting on this and that and all that stuff, and I just get sick when all the people was in that, the January the 6th, all of them was wrong. It didn't matter if they didn't even go into the White House or anywhere they went in the Capitol. They were still wrong. Even people that was tourists there looking at the Washington, D.C. and, going to see the historical sites, they even got tied up in there. And I disagree on busting out windows. I disagree at destroying property. I disagree where it's a White House or where it's a Capitol, wherever it may be. When people are protesting, they need to do it in a nonviolent protest. I mean, if you don't like stuff, it's all right. If you lift your words up and say, hey, I don't like it, that's a part of freedom. But when you start doing damage to private property, or it don't matter where it's the White House or where it would be the Capitol or wherever it may be. But our government now, as I watch Joe Biden, when he was, of course, he was telling how great that he'd done this country, the State of the Union. He didn't say nothing about it, mostly after Donald Trump. But what I heard from him talking to the Supreme Court justices that was sitting there, that, look, you're going to do things the way we want it done. Our party wants done. That's what I took it. That's the way I took it. And that's the way they're trying to do it now. If Donald Trump gets immunity, they want to override it and try to destroy him that way. And see, this is things that's going on right now that looks like a dictatorship. It don't look like a democracy. It don't look like a free country. It don't look like somebody cares for this country. And and you Republicans, you lean toward the Democrats, you need to go and run as a Democrat. If you're going to run as a Republican and be a Republican. I always thought elephant can squash a jackass. I always thought this bigger and stronger than a jackass. You know what I'm talking about? That jackass that represents the Democratic Party. A jackass is a dumb animal. And you sure, when you took that jackass and put it up as your Democratic symbol, you picked the pride and joy of idiotic people. Of course, now, in my opinion, the jackass has got better sense than the Democrats have. And the things they do, I used to have a donkey. He hated cattle. He hated anybody come in his domain, in his stall or his field where he run around. Yeah. I caught him with a dog trying to kill a cow, a baby calf. That's when I used to have some animals in Kentucky. And they were both trying to kill that calf. And see, these jackasses in Washington are trying to destroy our freedom. These jackasses in Congress, the Senate, even FBI is trying to destroy. They talk about democracy, and they're the one that's guilty. I talked to my ex-wife about hate. She tells me I hate her, but it seems to be all the things she's doing to me, she hates me. And she's got a right to, probably. But anyway, I'm just looking at Washington, D.C. like a bunch of maniacs that are trying to destroy this country and override the law, and then they'll say Donald Trump is not above the law, and they're the ones that are above the law. It blows my mind to be able to turn on the TV and not see someone in the Democratic Party trying to do something for this country. Every time I turn it on, they're trying to give money away. They're trying to save the college kids that went and got those loans. It ain't about the college kids. They don't care whether they have to pay that or not. It's about votes. And the talking about Social Security and all that the Republicans will do away, that's nothing but a lie. Republicans know they can't do away with that. That's been made up, for retirees.
Yep.
Now, the Democrats can do it because they know best for us Americans. They know we can eat dog food if we wanted, or cat food, or go outside and eat a little grass to fill our stomach.
Cicadas. Fried cicadas.
What now?
Fried cicadas?
What?
Fried cicadas.
No.
They love to push that.
Yeah. Yeah, and kill all the poor old cows because they're farting. That's awful. I'm watching Athens. Well, it was Athens, and they respect the animals. Our government, they only can't even respect the animals nowadays. They don't have no respect for us or the animals. And
well, they love the animals so much.
Well, I mean, they don't have no respect for them. They let people get away being cruel to them. There's a person right now that I could tell you about always getting animals, and this guy that this woman's with, she let him drown one of the dogs, broke the other dog's back. I mean, things like that need to be locked up and the key thrown away. But see, with the animal nowadays, it seems to be, we're treated like animals. We're treated like we are the beneficiaries of the world. We are treated like we're supposed to take care of the world and do without ourselves. It's all about votes. I don't know for sure. This is not a for sure thing, but I don't know that all these people coming across the border don't get a registration card. That's why they don't want an ID card. That's why they don't want a law passed. You got to prove that you're an American citizen. They just won't let you vote. And all these people are coming across the border and getting all these free rides and getting free hotel, free lodging and all that. Naturally, they're going to vote for Biden. Naturally. Everybody loves a free ride. That's not Americans, but that's Americans. We don't believe in free rides. We believe in working and making a good living for our family. Because this dictator we have in Washington, D.C., and his dictator cabinet, Americans can't look forward for nothing no more. And the interest rate's so high. Interest rate's so high because he's destroyed our economy. I mean, how in the world can you depend on solar power when it's not perfected yet to the point that it will stay online to give you that electricity? I don't know why they want to make out like they care about the pollution. I don't know why they want to make out like they do the air pollution. Until I look in China and see all the manufacturing that's coming out of China. The solar panels there's some being made here, but they belong to South Korea, they belong to China, one way or Vietnam or some other foreign country. Just like TikTok. There's no reason to destroy TikTok. That's part of the government wanting to take over that. Tell you what you can watch. We know. Are any of you out there gullible enough to think that the Chinese don't know about all of us, each and every individual, because they got a record of it. And there's so many people. We always forget to turn our cell phones off around here. I do it all the time. But anyway, there's so many people out there that China knows about. Our government don't have a perfect wall to keep hackers out. They don't have a perfect. They're too busy concentrating on getting rid of Donald Trump. They're not trying to protect this country. They're too busy worried about Donald Trump coming than they are people coming across the border. I see the Attorney General talking about how that we are in danger of terrorists. Well, who put us in danger? Joe Biden and his administration. You know, they don't care. I want all you people. I mean, any race you are. How much hope do you have in Joe Biden? Like I said on the other broadcast, he sat in his basement when he run for president. He didn't tell us what his plans was. Now, he told in the debate now, his goal was to open up the border. He told us that. He said he would. And everybody voted for him. But it don't matter what race you are. You're in this country, and you're supposed to be an American. And they're always talking about Donald Trump destroying democracy. Dictators destroy democracy. And that's what we have in our government right now. We don't have somebody cares about us. We have dictators that are trying their best to destroy this country. Well, you got to.
You're right about that. They don't care about people. They just care about power. It's just about power. And it's just amazing how no one sees that. No one cares about it. It's just vote against Trump and that's it. And just let the country go to the waste.
The hell you mean, don't you? Hell ain't no bad word. That's it. That's you using that in wrong contents. I mean, there's so many people in this world, they can do anything in the world and they'll condemn you for using that word hell or slut puppy. You know. But anyway, we got some slut puppies up there now. Dictator slut puppies. Oh, come on. Jeff. Let's name them as we see them. Hey, I'm 75 years old and I ain't never seen so much unjust in our government that I see now. I have never in my life seen people play like they care about their country and selling us out. And as far as me to believe that Joe Biden that took bribes from all these countries and getting that money, I hear you dictator people in Congress say there's no proof. Well, the big mouth sucker got up on television and said on the news, if you don't fire that prosecutor in Ukraine, you don't get that $1 billion. Now, if that ain't a crook, I have never seen one. Talk. I hear, I heard, I think his name was Michael. He was in the Casey family, in the mafia. I heard him say the Democrats was the easiest people to pay off. That's what I heard him say. I mean, I know these Republicans that probably take a payoff, but we got a bunch of corrupt people in our government. I mean, all right, I was president, say I was president, and I pack up all my stuff and I leave and I put it in my garage, and I don't have time to go through it, so I don't see what I took, but I just depended on my employees to do it. And then I might find some stuff, and and I figure it's since I've been the president and I know everything's going on, and I put all that paperwork. What the crap, man? If you've been the president, you already know about all the secrets, right? Who's keeping all them secrets from the president? Ain't he supposed to know about war, nuclear weapons, spies, everything? He's supposed to know all that stuff. So just because he took the paperwork home with him, don't make him breaking the law, because he's the president. He already knows. All he has to do is do a statement. He didn't have to take it on you. I mean, don't make him guilty. But when somebody's a vice president has no right whatsoever to take it home with him or even read it, he's a vice president. What right does he have to step it in his garage, step it in his office? At least Donald Trump had it all in one place, but he took it like somebody running down the road and throwing it out to the window. It's everywhere, scattered out everywhere.
Some of it went back to his Senate days, which makes it much worse.
I know it. When he's a senator, he took that stuff home. We had no right. He broke the law then. Well, did the statute of limitations wear out on him?
Everything's wore out on him.
Yeah, anything he does is he's senile. Oh, and you want him to run for your president? What kind of idiots are you in Washington? And you call yourself, we're trying to save democracy. You make me sick. And I tell you what, Donald Trump has his faults. He's not and that, as I say every time, it ain't about Donald Trump. I mean, if you dig up something on Jimmy Carter, you gonna go down there and drag him out of the hospice and take him to court? Why don't you go get Clinton and Hillary, Bill, and take them up to court? Why don't you get Obama for taking billions of dollars in cash and giving it to our enemy? Why don't you take them to court? Why don't you say you are guilty? Above the law, you Democrats, you get up there and you saying some of you Republicans, they're not above the law, but you're the biggest liar that you ever was. It's how much power and who you know, and you get out of it. I don't hear nothing about that guy that sold us out in Congress. Democrat. Hey, we don't hear no more about that. Mandanas or whatever his name was. But I just don't, and his wife, I mean, they threw gifts, they had cash in their house. I mean, everything they can do was breaking the law, but I don't hear nothing about that. It's all about Donald Trump. It's all about Donald Trump.
Yeah, that did disappear quickly. I couldn't even remember his name. It went so fast.
Yeah. But it's just always something. Nobody ever broke the law but Donald Trump. And I'll say this. I can say this, I don't have the picture no more because my ex-wife put the sucker on Facebook and I had her take it off. And you can go into Facebook and find it. If you was a government, you could. Stormy Daniels sat in my lap when I was in Vegas. I went in, drifted in. I would go to all them different shows in Vegas when I was out there. And I drifted in, and there it was. That's when I was this security whore up and devil. And I was out there. She sat down my lap. She didn't charge me for it. And I'm old anyway. She could have broke my legs. No, I was young. I was in my 50s, back there, 60s.
But
Yeah, and she sat in my lap. She didn't ask for no money. She didn't want no money because I'm open. My ex-wife knows it. My children know it. I don't hide my past. I ain't like you politicians. I don't like this, and then you go back and apologize. I don't apologize. If I say it, I mean it. And I mean this. Joe Biden is our dictator. He's not our president. And if anybody wants to dispute that, you look at Venezuela, you look at North Korea, you look at all these countries that try to get rid of their their competition. And do you tell me that Joe Biden's any different? Vote Republican. And some of my friends that I know are Democrat, I respect their point of view, but I see what's happening. And if you look hard and with a concern for your country, you will look hard enough and you will see. God bless you.
Thanks for joining us today. To watch this show again, be sure to visit Talkin'live.com. We now have Roku and Amazon Fire TV channels for you to watch from your home TV. Or find more of our recent shows on most any of your favorite social media platforms. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, world. We will be talking live with you next time. The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin' Live presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin' Live TV broadcast studio, or by this channel or its management.